You got first 3 on your own. And then from that point, I'm with you.
Ready?
TNTM The Show presents Comicast 253 with your host
Pablo Gunner.
and JD. And we're here to review comics for the week of the 28th of September 2016.
That's right.
And we have our own, grading scale here: buy, skim, pass, with variations on the buy and skim, strong buy, weak buy, strong skim, weak skim. And we have our best book of the week, the back and bag of the week, the B-Bow. And spoilers for all of what we're doing here. And your dog's trying to love me, man.
Go lay down. Go. Go.
So yeah, you the listener, you don't lay down. Yeah, well, please can lay down.
You can.
I mean, we're gonna be talking about comics, so it's gonna be great.
Yep. This is what happens when it's live.
Yeah, spoilers for what we're gonna be talking about, and we do have a ringtone, which we really haven't decided yet.
No, not really.
The ringtone.
Didn't really decide on a ringtone.
We're just kind of riding by the seat of our pants.
I don't know if I used this one yet or not. I think I did actually.
Yeah, you did.
I'm gonna use a different one then.
No. Well.
Fly me to the moon.
That one's too easy, I feel like.
Among the stars.
So that's the ringtone.
Oh, so we have some classic Rack Pack for the ringtone.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, that'll go off when it's time for us to wrap stuff up.
Which is 1 minute for if we're talking solo, 2 minutes if we're doing it together, and fluctuations due to how good some of these books were this week. I mean, we had a lot of good books.
There's
this week.
a lot of books. I got I think 22 books.
I don't even know what all I had.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You ready?
Let's get started.
Did you get this book?
The Hellblazer number 2?
No. Yes.
I did not pick up Hellblazer number 2.
Pat yourself on the back. Written by Simon Oliver, artist Mortat, colorist Andre Zamankwiks. Anyways, yeah. The first part is that those two is Swamp Thing and that girl talking.
Yeah, from
and
last
so I was
issue.
like, is this a Swamp Thing book? Because it feels like a Swamp Thing book. Then it gets back to. What's his name? Constantine. And it's just him being him and stuff. And talking about people and stuff. And then he's just being an a-hole. He's just being a dick. And it's really boring. It's really, 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 really boring. Like, all I gotta say is it's just boring.
Boring!
It's boring. I don't know if there's anybody that is really liking this. Please tell me if you do and why, because I don't get it.
I used to love.
Boring to me.
I love Hellblazer and Constantine. They're great characters. The show is fantastic.
Yes,
but this run so far is so lackluster that I'm not gonna pick it up until something good starts happening.
Super boring. Don't get it. It doesn't look bad. It looks good. It's just super boring. There's nothing that interests me about it. Like if it was a Swamp Thing book, I feel like it would be better as a Swamp Thing book, honestly. But if it just stayed as Swamp Thing, and it's bad. Anyways, yeah, pass. Just pass.
So we have Wonder Woman.
Speaking of pass, Wonder Woman number 7. I keep on telling myself that Greg Rucka, the writer, Liam Sharp, the artist, Laura Martin, the colors, that it's not bad, but you know what? I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like the way the art looks. I don't like the story. I keep on telling myself that because Greg Rucka's a good writer
and a great creative team.
Yes, that because it's a great creative team that it's good. It's not. It's not. You know what? I'm done trying to convince myself, and this was the issue where I was just like, and this is a conclusion issue too, and it just felt like, okay, all right. Like there's just nothing there's nothing in it for me. Like like I said, it's a pass. That's all. That's all. I can't.
And as you can tell, we're not setting a timer because, well, it's nothing really to talk about.
Yeah. Did you get Blue Beetle #1?
I did not get Blue Beetle.
Okay. This will be another fast one, but I'll set the timer at
So the
least.
timer
for
is
this
done?
one. So yeah, it's I believe it's the same team or something. I don't even know who it is. Keith Giffen is the writer, and then we have, I don't know who the artist is. Scott Collins? I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I did read the Rebirth one, and it wasn't bad. In fact, I love the writing of, like, just his regular life stuff, you know, like that girl and his friend, how they bicker back and forth, and I love his family stuff and all that, you know, and I don't like the relationship that him and Cord have. Like, Cord is like, do this, I don't want to do this. Do it anyways. I don't want to do this anyways. Well, I'm forcing you to do it. And it's like, they're just bickering, and it's just the whole thing just feels like bickering, and it's not fun at all, and it's not really interesting that much either. It's confusing. The art, I like it, and I want to like this book, but there's just, I don't, you know, like I just don't. So.
Says we're off the air, my friend.
It says we're off the air.
Yeah, we're off of the air.
It says we're live on here.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyways, yeah, it's not bad, but it's like, it's a weak buy, I guess.
So a week buy for Blue Beetle #1.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into comic that I have read. It is Batman Beyond Rebirth #1. And the credits are Dan Jurgens is writing, Ryan Sook is art and cover, and the colorists were done by Jeremy Lawson and Tony Averina. Avina. And it is a typical Rebirth. And it tells you your basic catch-up. I mean, it tells the origin of how Terry got the bat suit.
Yeah.
And, you know, it basically just kind of rehashes everything from the Batman Beyond series.
Mm-hmm.
And evidently Bruce has just died not too long ago in this timeline here. And, of course, Barbara's the commissioner. And, yeah, it's a pretty good comic. I enjoyed every step of the way of it. But Dana, the girlfriend for Terry, or the former girlfriend for Terry, she gets kidnapped by the Jokers. And we come to find out that they're trying to revive Joker. So
yeah, it is crazy.
Intense.
And that's the thing is, if you watch this as back in the day as a cartoon, this is a great recap. If you just want, like I did, and it was a great recap anyways, but this is a jump forward. So this is like after high school. This is, I think, after college.
I think so too. I think it's maybe like 10 years after we get Batman Beyond the series.
And man, dude, I am so down for this. This seems so
pinnacle.
interesting. Yeah, like you said, they're trying to revive the Joker, and I'm like, what? Crazy, dude. Sold. I can't wait to see more.
Shut up and take my money.
Yes, strong buy. It is.
It's something I'm going to pick up monthly now.
Yeah.
Or buy monthly.
I would say this is a contender because it was a great intro issue. It was a great, like, getting me jacked off for the news, what's to come.
Yeah, for Batman Beyond #1.
Yeah.
Which is slated for like a release next month?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. I haven't checked the schedule yet, but
looks great. Everything's great.
Yes,
phenomenal.
strong buy contender.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what we have next?
This is one I feel like we've been waiting for this for a long time.
Yeah, Teen Titans Rebirth #1.
Teen Titans Rebirth #1, and let's see, what's this creative team?
I've got it.
Benjamin Percy is the writer.
Colors done by Jim Chapalomambadis, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Percy and Mayers did the story and the visuals. Jim, whatever his name is, did the color, and Corey Breen did the letters. and it's somebody is kidnapping the Titans.
Yes, if you know this character, I feel like you know already.
Oh yeah, I mean
You're
it's kind of blatantly obvious at the beginning of the book. The person's talking about Tim Drake. I mean, and how he would have done things a little bit differently and so forth and so on.
I've never been a big Beast Boy fan.
I'm not either.
They do an intro to Beast Boy.
Total tool, man.
And I like him though. He's fun. He's crazy. Starfire 2, which I thought it was a little weird that Starfire and not Tim Drake. I mean, not Dick are on. They're not on the same team. Like, why is she not on
Titans?
Because
there needs to be an elder member of the Teen Titans, I guess.
But nonetheless, like, it works because she seems young, you know.
So we have Beast Boy, Raven
was
Starfire,
very different, and I'm not sure.
And Wally West Kid Flash.
How I feel. Yeah, that I liked. I liked the Wally West quite a bit. That was really cool. I love his suit, just his look, everything.
And then at the end, we find out that it's Damien.
Yeah, you find out. They reveal it. I mean,
you kind of knew it all.
It's obvious. Like, if you know the character of Damien, you know what he was doing.
So, I mean, he's pulling the whole, I'm going to kidnap you and you're going to do what I tell you to.
Yes.
You know, eat stuff he learned from Grandpa.
Yeah.
Which that may be who they're facing is the League of Shadows.
Yeah, I don't know.
But we don't know yet.
We don't know what the threat is. I like it. I thought it was a great rebirth issue.
It was a great introduction to the team.
Yes, it makes me excited for the next issue as well. I'm down, man.
I'm not sure if you've been watching the DC animated movies or not, but I kept reading this, and all the monologue and dialogue that I got from Damien, I could hear in that voice actor's voice from the movies, and it was just perfect.
I thought you were going to say if you've been watching Teen Titans.
No, I haven't watched Teen Titans Go.
I love Teen Titans Go. It's so fun.
I prefer the original,
but I never got into it. But anyways, another time.
Season 2 of Teen Titans is the Judas Contract, and it's perfect. So anyway, strong by contender. Jinx.
Speaking of Titans, you ready to roll into some Titans?
Yeah, we'll get to the Elder Titans.
Number 3.
And it picks up exactly where it left off.
Dan Abnett is the writer, Brett Booth as the penciler, Norm Rackmund is inker, Andrew Dalhouse as colorist.
And Carlos Manjual is doing the letters.
Yeah, like you said, picks up exactly where it left off.
Where we were having the young Teen Titans fight the current Teen Titans. Titans.
This issue was exactly what you explained at the last issue, which I loved. I read it and going like, I know this stuff because he talked about this stuff last time, but now we get to see it visually and we get it fleshed out and everything like that. And it's really interesting, too, how there's these different teams. There's these other folks, too. It's just... I don't know. I still don't like the guy.
You don't like the villain?
Yeah, I don't like him. I wish he was not so him, I guess. But if it was more like dark, I guess, and
it's a Wally villain.
So, but I like the idea that
I like the whole thing between Roy and Donna.
Oh yeah,
that was pretty good.
Yeah,
you just kind of said you love me. Is that true? No, I'm a liar. I'm a good liar.
Yeah. So.
And then we have the thing with Bumblebee and Mal.
Mm.
And how they used to be.
I had no idea who those were. So.
If you watch the Young Justice series, Mal was in both seasons, and so was Bumblebee. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know who you're talking about now.
Mal took up the Guardian name, I guess, at the time.
But yeah, I want to see.
He kind of Abracadabra kind of blames himself and says that he erased Wally from history.
He takes credit for it, but then he doesn't remember himself.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting. So we know that, like, okay, he's not, but he's still messing with stuff.
But so did you see the clock? And
yes.
The blood stain on the clock was just like the comedian's emblem, and the blood stain on it.
Yeah.
And it, almost the time for it is the same 5 minutes to midnight. I mean,
yeah,
it's definitely a Watchmen drop right there. So
for sure.
So I've come to the conclusion from this point here that we have Ozymandias at least as a villain in this entire rebirth.
I wonder.
Because somebody snatched up Doomsday, somebody snatched up Tim Drake. Ozymandias could do that.
Yeah.
And, they've been dropping kind of seeds throughout the New 52 in this.
I wonder.
So we'll see in the future.
So, but this one, I liked it. I'm most interested in seeing that if they're going to put one of their own teammates on Kadabra's team, like do a swap, like a mole kind of type thing.
Well,
you know
how
what I
could
mean?
you do that? There's a big
I don't
age
know,
difference here.
but I want to see if they can do it.
I don't know how you could because there's just a big age gap there.
A lot of them look the same though.
That's a good 8 years difference between the two teams.
I don't know.
We'll see. But I give it a strong buy. I actually think it's a contender as well. I mean, it's the villain's not the best in the world, but it's building and it makes me want to have interest in this.
This is definitely a Wally book, like you said.
Yes, definitely a Wally book.
So yeah, and that's kind of my issue is that I want more Dick, and I want more Aqualad, and I want more Donna and more Roy.
And less Wally.
Because it's Titans, it's not.
It's not Wally.
Like maybe if you called it.
It's Wally.
Maybe if you called it Wally West and the Titans, I'd be more satisfied. You know? But
the thing
still,
is, we've been missing Wally for months, almost years.
You have. I don't.
You don't
I've
really
never
care
even
about Wally.
Yeah, I don't even like Wally West. So,
but I mean, he's been gone out of the entire picture
but
since
I
the
mean,
New 52.
he's been good in this.
So,
because he seems older and more mature and not so annoying.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I'll give it a strong buy.
Strong buy, but I give it a contender.
All right.
So we got next. Well, we got Batgirl number 3.
Batgirl number 3. You check it out.
Yes, it did.
All right. Is it Hope Larson as the writer, Rafael Albuquerque as the art, Dave McCaig as colors, and yeah.
We'll pick up where we left off from the last one. Barb, or what was her name? Amy, getting her getting her butt beat.
Yes.
And we find out that the chick who beat her, it was deaf.
Mm-hmm.
So she can focus on the opponent more.
The movements and the everything, yeah.
Kind of like an opposite Daredevil.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
And then she also goes to question
Kai.
Yes, and that doesn't really turn out well, so she's like, all right, I'm out of here. She's trying to find out more about what's going on.
Ends up going to South Korea.
Uh-huh. And it's funny, she has some fans even. I like that. That she tries to get into it too, and but it looks like she got set up.
Yep.
But also, that's going to be bad because it means that somebody else possibly got set up as well.
Yep. It's a trap!
So, really interesting. I'm digging it. I like it. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
It looks great.
It's
interesting.
not as good as it was last time, though. I mean, it was a great book last time, and I just felt like that this was that downward, part of a low part of the roller coaster of the storyline. So,
yeah.
I'm just going to give this a buy.
Okay.
I'm not going to give it a strong buy. I'm just going to give it a buy.
I give it a strong buy, but it's not a contender.
Okay. Up next, we have The Flash, numero 7. And it is written by Joshua Williamson. Carmine
Giandomenico
did the art. Ivan Placiatintia did the colors. And Steve Wan did the letters.
Okay.
And, we pick up where we left off again, with the reveal of Godspeed being August. And he kind of explains himself.
He explains himself, yeah.
A little bit more efficiently.
They also show that there are drawbacks to him.
Oh, yeah, him being in two places at once.
Yeah.
Which, he says it hurts like the devil,
And
it's such a great story. It's just a great character development.
Flash is recouping. You also see how Godspeed deals with villains, which even the police are like, this is too dark. This is too messed up.
He's kind of killing everybody.
Yeah.
Because he goes in and he's like, okay, this is like the situation here. I'm going to go in and take them all out. And he phases people through walls. I mean, he just straight up murders everybody that's a villain. You're like, oh yeah, don't worry about going in there and reading the rights. They're kind of all dead. And he just zooms off.
Yeah. And I think the worst of it, it's great, but the worst of it is that I think
that torture scene.
I think the worst of it is that he may be wrong about his brother's killer.
That may be.
And I think that's going to be
the catalyst making him rethink what's going on or push him over the edge.
Yes. I think if he finds that out, that he's going to be like,
I killed somebody that was innocent.
Right. And go, you were right, Flash. I'm done. And maybe he'll have.
Maybe he'll give
like
up
that's
the
when
Speed
he'll
Force.
give up. Yeah. And he'll be like, take the Speed Force away from me.
Because that's another thing is, people who gave up the Speed Force willingly survived.
They didn't die. Yeah, that was interesting.
So that's something to look at. But that torture scene where he's just holding that guy over the building and he just kind of shakes him, real fast. It's like, what the hell was that? And he's like, if I shook you any harder, you'd be mush on the inside right now.
Yes.
So anyway, the new speedsters transfer all their Speed Force to Wally and Barry.
It's crazy too because I wonder if you could cause like another
storm,
another flashpoint because of who he might kill.
I don't know, man.
I mean, I don't think he's gonna kill him, but you know what I mean. Like, there's that risk. What if he kills him and it creates another flashpoint?
Yeah, because
I mean, it's not going to. They're not gonna do that.
That'd be kind of pointless for them to kill this person. And I don't want to spoil it because
create another flashpoint. But
yeah,
so good. Strong by contender,
likewise,
definitely.
Strong by contender. And we have Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps.
Number 5.
And we have it written by Robert Venditti.
Yes.
Or art by Ethan Van Shiver. Colors by Jason Wright and letters by Dave Sharp. And we start out with the torture of Guy Gardner.
Yeah, he's holding up pretty well.
Oh yeah, he's beast, man. He's like the Boston guy, man. He's from Boston. He's gotta get that Beantown love, man. So yeah, he's holding up like a boss.
So yeah, it's good stuff. You get more with Hal Jordan and that chick, which
Sinister's
I didn't know.
Daughter.
Sinister's daughter. She actually used to be
a Green Lantern.
A Green Lantern. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
And then the Green Lantern Corps, that was pretty interesting too, is the Green Lantern Corps stuff. Like, they're about to face off against this Armada, and they're like, no, we want your help. You guys have been missing. Like, where have you been? And he's like, well, don't worry about it, but like, we lost most of our people. And they're like, will you help us? Well, can you give us all this? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's go do this.
Well, let's get it done.
Yeah.
And then Hal kind of explains how he's made of willpower and how he forged the ring to Sinistra's daughter.
Yeah.
She had turned the Green Lantern Corps into a good thing. She kind of explains what's going on and how they became the police force, and acting as the police force in the Grand.
And I loved how he was like, wait. Let me guess. He pretended to be sick while you made it to be this good thing. And then once you took over...
And once you got everything all squared away...
then he recovered, right? He magically recovered. And she's like, yeah, well, he was really dying. He just used Parallax to recover.
He's like, that was the plan the whole time.
And I was like, nonetheless, it was what it was.
He's like, I'm going to go to that fear engine. I'm going to blow it all to hell.
So, yeah, he's just so... I don't get it, though, because he's... he's kind of full of himself. And he's... Like, you couldn't do it before. What makes you think you can do it now?
Yeah.
But, of course...
He's got a lot of reinforcements now.
Green Lantern Corps?
Yeah.
So,
and then we got a guy on the inside.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. With a bastard like freaking Guy Garner on the inside, he can't lose. I think Guy's going to save the day. I really do.
I don't know, man.
I think even though it's called Hal Jordan and the Green Lanterns, I think Guy is going to be the main man.
I don't. I'm actually worried that he may succumb
to the fear.
Yes.
He might become a Yellow Lantern.
Well, he might be,
or he might even go back to being a red.
He needs, like he wanted to use him to fuel the
fear engine.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
It
can't all be,
Can't all be perfect.
Hearts, stars, rainbows.
Yeah, bubblegum and unicorns and
horseshoes and balloons.
Whatever.
But yeah, strong by contender has been from the beginning.
Yes. This is a title that is consistent monthly issue. Whatever.
Absolutely.
It's definitely great stuff. So we have Night of the Monster Man Part 3 from what is Detective Comics number 941. And the credits on this include Steve Orlando and James Tinian IV doing the story. Steve Orlando doing the script. Andy McDonald doing the art, and John Roche doing colors.
Okay. So, man, I love this art.
Dude, it's so awesome. This is so befitting of this comic. And we pick up again where we left off with part 2.
This one, it seems like that red stuff is playing more of a factor in
Yes.
this. Like, it's starting to affect the people in the cave and
They're
making
going
them
crazy.
go wild and start attacking each other. This one, you also have that player that was on the bench show up, spoil it.
It was Gotham Girl.
Yes. Which was much needed, though.
Yes.
Because, like, I don't think Dick could have handled all those monsters
I don't
by
care
himself at
how-
that prison.
How hard up Dick could think he is. There's no way he can handle that monster without her help.
The other part, though, too, I really enjoyed was just spoiler figuring things out. Like,
Yeah,
I need a moment. I need a. How can I stop this? Okay, the fire. You know, there's some virus going on.
Yeah, grass.
Yeah, and it's really interesting.
She pulled a Tim Drake.
The monsters are crazy, and it's
They're growing heads and mutating, man. It's like, the G virus.
But it's that same thing. The red stuff is now on.
The people's faces and stuff. So
It
the
is
civilians.
It's now on Dick and
Gotham Girl.
Gotham Girl now too. So
And then they begin to mutate and change and
into monsters,
evolve.
it's scary.
It's pretty hardcore. So we have Bird Dick and lasagna, spaghetti hair Gotham Girl.
She looks terrifying.
I mean, that's just frightening.
Yeah,
But this story is fantastic.
it is really good.
I-
I love how they're utilizing every single character.
And as a
Clayface
team-
continues to be really good too.
Yeah, he
continues pushing himself to his limits. Everybody's pushing themselves to their limits.
and they're succeeding.
Yes, and it's. I mean, I feel like Batman and Batwoman are having it the worst, but they're also facing the brunt of it too.
Fly
So.
me to the moon.
Strong by another contender.
Yeah, strong by another contender. Man, DC is knocking it out of the park.
They
this week,
are.
man.
They are. Last week it was all about
The
slice of life, and now it's all about action, action, action. That's fine. Speaking of action,
We have Action Comics number 964, and it is Superman Meet Clark Kent Part 2, written by Dan Jurgens, art by Pat Zertra, and Ulysses Areola is the colors. And again, this is not quite a slice of life, but Superman takes Clark Kent home.
he takes him to the Fortress of Solitude, which is the new Superman's Fortress of Solitude, not his own. But yeah, and he uses like this orb that like
It was
can
like
read
a
your
sphere
memories
of,
and-
of recollection or revelations.
yes,
Sphere of revelation.
and so this guy has all the memories of Clark Kent, but they're slightly different because it was
it's a human Clark Kent.
yeah, and he's like, how can? But he wants to tell him, but he doesn't. He's like, how can you be Clark Kent when I'm Clark Kent?
And Clark Kent was here and he died. So something's goofy going on.
So there is definitely mistrust between the two though, because they're not being completely.
But he's like,
Deal
write
with each other.
this expose, so forth and so on.
And there actually was something going on with that thing that he was investigating,
gene-
Geneticron.
Yeah. The
Which-
whole building just kind of poof up and vanishes like a fart in the wind, man.
Which I think does turn into it has something to do with that
Mr. Oz.
Doomsday. Mr. Oz?
Mr. Oz. Again, Mr. Oz has control. He has possession of Doomsday. It's what happened after he teleported Doomsday. And he's got possession of Tim Drake, or removed him from the board.
Yeah.
Quotations from the comic.
Okay, so this is just behind the scenes. These things are all actually connected. I'm loving it.
And this has something to do with the fact that Wally was missing.
Okay.
So this is all tying into the mystery.
And I really liked how this Clark, he wrote up a story on him too.
Did you sit down and read the entire story?
Yes.
I mean, it was so great. This is what Clark Kent should be writing about. And he's kind of making up. This is kind of like what Lois would normally be writing about.
Yes, which
She's,
I
don't know.
I think there's just going to be one Lois and one Lana. I think is how this is going to work.
Who knows?
Because one of them's dead now. I don't think
Lois
she's
is
coming
dead.
back. But one of them.
Yeah, one of Lois's.
But yeah, because the other one's still. But anyways, this one, strong by contender.
Yes, strong by contender. Although I don't know
Amazing.
who this guy in the beard is.
I don't know either.
You know, he's got his red hat, beard on. He's got the symbol for the House of L in his room. I mean, I don't know what this is. I mean, it looks like Apocalypse with the symbol of House of L. You know,
Mm. So
who knows? But yeah,
alrighty. So I'm gonna move on to my one. I think it's my one indie book of the week. I actually didn't plan on reviewing this, but when I read it, I was like, "This is such an amazing book. I have to cover it." And it is Lady Mechanica #1, La Dama de la Muerte, and it's the Benitez Productions is what it is. It's I don't know where the things are. It might be at the end, but I know it's like Joe Benitez is the main guy. Anyways, if I find it, I'll tell you. But yeah, so it's this lady and she's mechanical, right? Like she has mechanical arms and legs, or just like there's multiple parts of her. And so she takes this trip to Mexico, and it happens to be what? Dia de la Muerte. And she goes to this small town, and they're really nice. It's really sweet, man. I just love all of it, And she's having past memories, bad stuff, and they're like, well, we'll help you and stuff. It's just so great. They're supposed to be speaking in Spanish, Of course, it's like translated into English, but it's so good, man. It just had so much. Like, I just love the Mexican stuff. Like, we live in New Mexico. Of course, it's just down south. There's so much personality. There's so much, details to this. This guy really knows his stuff. He's so great at writing this character. The art looks amazing. It's just mind-blowingly good. Created by Joe Benitez, story by Joe Benitez and M.M. Chen. Pencils by Joe Benitez and Martin Montiel. And digital inks by Studio J13, colors by Peter Steigerwald, and it's so good. It's just so amazing. I loved it. So yeah, strong buy, contender.
sweet.
If it wasn't a contender, I wouldn't have reviewed it this week, but it is.
And that means it's time for a word from our sponsors.
Yes, time for a commercial break about Gamers Anonymous.
Yes.
Gamers Anonymous it's
a great place.
It's such a great place. And you know what? I really want to drive home, and I hope I'm doing this in my videos, or actually I've only done one video so far, but I'm going to continue doing more because I have this sweet deal with them where, I get, a nice discount with them. That's why when I say sponsored by, I don't actually get money from these companies, but they give me little discounts and little perks, and that's enough for me,
Yep.
Because I love doing this stuff. And so he lets me try games out, and so I got to try out Ratchet and Clank.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I like that.
Oh my god, such a great game.
See, the wife wants to watch the movie, so I know the game is based off the movie or vice versa.
Yeah, it's. I want to see the movie now and see what it is, but it's so great. I really, like I said, I hope I'm driving. I hope I get to driving the point that it's a retro gaming store, but it's not just retro gaming. Like they have
games.
Like most of the games that I review from them, am going to be reviewing from them, are going to be new games. Once I get an Xbox One, then I can start covering their Xbox One games, which will probably be this winter. I'm assuming they'll be cheaper.
If you have not picked up that Batman Telltale game, it is on episode 2 now. It is so good.
I haven't yet. Man. I've been busy and I've also been playing. I've been sick and I've been playing Arkham Knight because I've had that for a while and I tried it and I didn't like it.
What about the Season of Infamy? Did you get all the special features and stuff or
for what?
For the Arkham Knight?
No, I didn't.
I've got all the DLC, man. It's so awesome. Once you beat the Mr. Freeze stuff, everything just kind of starts snowing. And it's snowing on Halloween.
That's awesome.
It's this big, nice callback to Arkham City, and it was just great.
Cool. But yeah, they're just so great. You can, like I said, Xbox One games, PS4 games, Xbox 360 games, PS3 games, stuff. All the way down. Yes, all the way down. I don't know. I didn't check to see if they actually had Atari or ColecoVision or any
ColecoVision,
of that. But
Commodore
I mean,
64 on
but,
cassette tape.
but they have original Nintendo, Super Nintendo.
I'm
all
pretty
of
sure
it.
they'll
They
be
have
having
all
that
stuff.
new mini Nintendo that comes out later this year.
Oh yeah,
That's
I'm sure they will.
sweet.
That will be really neat.
Hey John, you should get that that little Famicom that comes with the 2 controllers.
He
man.
wants to.
I
He
know.
wants
I'm
to.
pretty sure.
So yeah, it's just so great. And John's also doing community stuff, stuff for the community. His shops are just so cool to hang out
Yeah.
at. He does this great thing with cats, where for the Animal Humane Center or something like that, where
Gatos.
he has a cat at each store, so people can go check him out and adopt him. It's only like $25. I actually just adopted a kitty there, and he's so nice. He's so nice.
But he's got, attitude problems with the other cats, man.
Well, no, it's
Or
the
is
other
it
cats that have attitude problems with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just wants to play. He just wants to have, and they want none of him. But anyways, he's a sweetheart and great. And even the new one they have now is Enrique. Seems like a nice guy too.
Nice.
But yeah, just so many great things. Follow him on Facebook. Follow him on their Facebook group. He's always asking interesting questions. All the time. And always has deals, they post their brand new loot that they get, and stuff. And they'll, call them or hit them up on the Facebook instantly, and they'll tell you, and you can go grab it instantly. In fact, I just got what did I got? I got a Super Nintendo game from them, X-Men.
Mutant Apocalypse?
Yes, Mutant Apocalypse, yes!
Dude, I love playing Psylocke on that game.
Oh, man.
And Beast being able to jump and climb on the ceiling.
Yeah.
I didn't really like the Wolverine. That was so hard.
No, he clawed into the wall
but
and
you
stuff.
got all those things coming behind you, like at the old Mega Man games,
Yeah.
So you get these little rolling spike things. Yeah, it's a difficult game from time to time.
Yeah, it's great though. But yeah, they're so good. They'll put you on a list. If there's a game you're looking out for, they'll put you on a list so that as soon as it comes in,
either shop.
They text you, either shop, and that's exactly what happened is I put that on my list, and they text me, and I went to go get it. That easy. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So check them out. They're
Gamers
great.
Anonymous, 2
And they
spots.
also have a rewards program where they give you like 20 to 15% off, like at least once a month. So it's so great. Yeah, and they have 2 locations. One on the east side. That one is...
Well, the one on the east side is the one at Wyoming and Constitution, right?
Yes, and then the west side one is Alameda Road and Corrales Road. Or Alameda and Corrales. It's backwards. It's weird. There you go. Kind of, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. There it is. So, yeah, anyways, so check them out. Back to our books, senor.
Back to comics.
A lot more books to review.
Civil War currently.
Civil War. We got Captain Marvel. Civil War 2 tie-in. Marvel. Do you get this one?
A negative.
All right.
I got another Civil War 2
Well, then
title.
I'll knock it out
yeah.
myself. Lonely at the Top, Part 4. Writers Ruth Fletcher, Gage Christos Gage. Artist Tony Silas. Colorist Matt Wilson. And this one just it keeps on feeling like a rehash, sort of. This one, some guy that used to... I guess he's kind of crazy. He gets a hold of this mask, which they weren't able to prevent it before it happened. And so some bad stuff happened. And then that leads into stuff because they're like, oh, he's mentally ill. And they're like, well, we need to have other people that are mentally ill screened. Well, guess what? Aurora, she's on that list. Or she ends up being on that list because she has, some disorder. And so Ulysses end up seeing a vision of her, and he's like, I gotta take you in. And she's like, are you kidding me? We just did this thing together. Now you're targeting me and people with, mental disorders. They end up duking it out. It's crazy, but it seems like somebody else is pulling the strings, which might be a theme, of why this war may come to an end, I think, because they're going to find out that, hey, somebody can pull the strings without this inhuman knowing.
Yeah.
And so it was, I felt like it was kind of okay at first, but once that got to the end and how things are going, and this is really, really interesting as well as how other things play into it.
And
So yeah,
I'll reveal that a little bit further down the road.
it's not quite a contender, but I'm gonna go ahead and give this one a strong buy. And here's a digital code: A for Han, 5, F for Frank, D for Donatello, 0, N for Nova, B for Bravo, B for Bravo, 7, V for Victor, S for Sand, K for Kill.
And you have Ultimates number 11.
Yeah, I didn't know that I had actually ordered this, but it was a pretty solid book. It is a 4-2 tie-in, and same creative team, I believe, which is Al Ewing is the writer, Kenneth Rockefeller, and Jabril Morissette as artist. Then Dan Brown as color artist. Dude, I love Thanos. And this is a Thanos book at this point.
Yeah.
And he goes into it.
I just don't like the team.
And I love the art, too. The team is alright. And I love how Thanos manipulates people. Well, I love the Al Ewing art. The other art, it's okay. It's not bad. I just continue to love this Thanos stuff. And what's cool is Spectrum, she actually goes into Thanos' head. And it turns out, because he's the Mad Titan, that she can't handle it. So she kind of
handle the truth.
Yeah, and dude, this team gets demolished because Thanos is just like a force to be reckoned with that nobody can stop, and it's just insane. But somehow, and I love how they do this, they use science to defeat their enemies, and that's what I loved about it. So on its own, as a Civil War II tie-in, solid. I mean, Civil War II tie-in, it wasn't like there wasn't that much stuff. There was a little bickering, how there was like, oh, you're still holding that lady who has nothing to do with Hydra.
Yeah, she got an anti-briefcase and everything.
But it plays into somebody else pulling strings.
We'll get into it here in a minute.
We'll get into it. Yeah, this was, man, I just love this art and I love Thanos. So I'm biased in that sense. So I'm going to give this one a strong buy and a contender because of that. That's, like I said, it is what it is.
Yep. All right. And you have Thunderbolts number 5, also a Civil War II title.
Yeah. And it's written by Jim Zub, artist John Malin, color artist Matt Yackey. And I really like how in this they say, man, all I feel like I've been doing is fighting since we started this team. Yeah, that's exactly what's been going on this whole time. And I love how they point that out. And then it goes into like, oh, somebody had a vision of Spidey, new Spidey,
Miles,
killing Captain Steve Rogers. So he feels responsible to help because he's like, well, I didn't stop him from getting killed before.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to stop him from getting killed by taking out Miles. Thing is, he didn't do his homework. He didn't do his research. He doesn't know this Spider-Man, and that's where he makes mistakes. I didn't know, but because they said they were arresting him at the end of number 5.
Yeah, he was giving himself up.
But then in this, he's free, and they're like, yeah, they let me free. But it almost seems like they let him free just to set up Bucky and the Thunderbolts so that they could get Kobik. You know, the Cosmic Cube girl. That's what it's looking like, which is really interesting. But at the same time, it kind of felt forced. And there's an image at the end that reminds me of Captain America Civil War, the movie.
Where he's all in restraints and stuff.
Yeah, it's similar, but not the same. It's so I don't know. It's like I said, felt forced, but interesting avenue at the same time. It's confusing because I thought that this person was supposed to be arrested.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's going
on between, I guess we'll find out in Spider-Man number 9 that comes out next week, right?
Yeah, so it's one of those things where, like I said, if they release certain books before other ones, certain things would make sense, but they're not making sense because of that. So, yeah.
So at the end of this event, we're going to have a full chronological, storyline here. Have to fit each book in between each other book to get an idea of what's really going on.
Yeah, so Yeah, I don't know. When I read it, I didn't feel like it was that great, but because of certain things, I feel like it's stronger than I thought it was.
Certain other revelations.
Which happens to be the theme with Marvel. I didn't realize. But yeah, so I'm gonna give this one. I don't know. I feel like visually it didn't look as good too, so I'm gonna give it a buy. And here's the digital code. Tell me what you think. F for Familia, Z for Zeta, M for Marcos, E for Echo, 7, 8, E for Echo, Q for Quintana, 9, 6, 2, Z for Zeta.
All right. And we have Sam Wilson, Captain America, number 13. Written by Nick Spencer, art by Daniel Acuna, letters by V.C. Joe Camanani, whatever his name is, Camanga.
So this is another one, man. That picks up exactly where it left off.
Yeah, we have U.S. Agent and Sam Wilson kind of going at each other last issue and
duking it out. Yep. What I liked though is that U.S. Agent is trashing this town, this city by. He's throwing them through windows. He's throwing through walls of this town. It's like, you're trashing the town. Sam Wilson wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
And I just love Sam Wilson as Cap because he's so. I feel like he's just so much more relatable. He doesn't have superpowers, and he's like,
not the soldier.
What can I do to get out of the situation or make it to my advantage? And so he puts him in a situation where, oh hey, it's all dark, but I can use owls as my vision to go after him. And I love how, they take personal jabs at each other, but they still respect each other too.
And it becomes this one big PR stunt, really.
And I also liked the talk that he had with Rage. How Rage is like, you're all talk and stuff, and he's like, man, everybody's a critic,
Yeah.
And he ends up coming up with this plan of, oh hey, well, I'm going to do not predictive, but to counteract and do my own thing, like constant surveillance type of thing, to keep an eye on these AmeriCops and other stuff like that, and that Tony helps him out with. And then, of course, this other person, they show their true hand, so to speak.
Yeah.
But not completely, obviously. Really, really interesting, because to me it didn't make sense without this other book. Once again, somebody's pulling strings.
Yeah, somebody's pulling strings. We got a puppet master going on.
Yeah, it's really good, really interesting. I give it a strong buy. It looks amazing. I love this book.
Yeah.
I love Sam Wilson.
It was great to see him with the U.S. Agent.
Yeah, all of it's really good. Everything how it plays out.
All these pawns are starting to be into play. And my next review is going to be telling you why all these pawns are into play.
Strong buy. What about you?
It's strong buy. It's a contender.
Yeah, absolutely. I have something special here, folks. Remember that one time I got gypped? I didn't get a code for Captain America Steve Rogers? Well, I never hit him up for it, but they gave me 2 codes in the Sam Wilson.
Ooh.
So that means I get to give one now away.
It's a live code.
And then another one for a vlogcast.
Yeah,
for Talking Nerd Vlogcast. So here's a digital code for Sam Wilson Captain America, and then I get to give another one away later. And I checked them. They are 2 different codes too, so legitimate. So now, I don't know if I should still bug them about that.
No,
that Captain, because I feel like they made up for it.
You're all even now.
But F for Familia, Z for Zarwan, M for Marcos, I for Inca, D for Donatello, 5, M for Minnesota, N for Nova, 2, G for George, R for Richter, U for Ultron.
Minnesota. Yes, that was good, man. Anyway, the book that we're talking about that's going to change.
We finally need to talk about it.
Everything is Steve Rogers, Captain America, number 5, which is definitely a Civil War II tie-in. It is written by Nick Spencer. Javier Pina is the art. Rochelle Rosenberg is doing the colors, and it is it fills in so many blanks. But so let's just get started. It gives you a flashback of Steve, and after his mom's been shot or whatever, they're like, okay, she's recovering. We're going to train you and put you through some process here.
They give him treatments.
They give him treatments from Dr. Whitehall. And if you're familiar with Dr. Whitehall from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., or even the comics, he's the inventor or the main user of a mind control method that really works on basically anybody.
Right.
So you get a little bit of flashback there and get it done. And then you have the whole thing with the Inhumans and how Cap's responding to that, and how he's getting his intel from everybody, how he wanted to kill Ulysses, and instead found kind of Stark there and was like, stop. He's trying to turn it around, saying that he's preventing Stark from killing him as opposed to doing it himself.
Uh-huh.
But he's like, hey, there's a guy who can predict our future. He sees visions. He may blow our cover at any moment.
Selvig.
He may be even seeing this conversation right now. It's like we got to come up with a plan to get him, get him off of our tail.
Yes.
So he concocts the whole thing. He is the cause of why Banner is dead. So Steve Rogers started Civil War II.
Essentially, he's the one that's been pulling the strings.
He's been pulling the strings all
this whole
along.
time. Even him showing his death.
Yeah. Him showing his death of Miles Morales killing him is a distraction so that he can go on and do whatever the heck he wants. This is a strong buy. This is a contender. Pick this book up.
Now, I feel conflicted because on one part, this is brilliant that somebody is pulling the strings the whole time. On the other part, and I like the idea that, he was mind-washed and his whole past was changed. At the same time, I feel like, when are we going to get Steve
back?
Because to me, the reason I stopped picking this book up is because this isn't a Steve book, and I still feel like it's not a Steve book. It's some other villain book. It's kind of like a Red Skull book.
This is a Red Skull in a Cap body book.
So, yeah, I feel conflicted, but because of all those strings being tied, you can't deny its greatness. Therefore, I have to give it a strong buy as well as a contender.
Yeah.
Just because it affects so many things.
It's so great.
So many of these other books. And to think that, wow, this is what's controlling and, all of the
I'm
Civil
actually
War.
kind of, as cool as it is to have this after Civil War number 5, I felt like this should have been before Civil War 5, but it works good either way.
Yeah.
So
Did you get the Totally Awesome
I did
Hulk
not pick
number
up the
10?
Totally Awesome Hulk.
You're missing out.
I know.
It's written by Greg Pak, artist Mahmoud Asrar, color artist Nolan Woodard. And this one, they have sent Black Panther after Amadeus Cho to keep an eye on him. And because he is on a rampage now, he wants to take out Clint Barton. And so he keeps on doing that thing where he keeps on tempting S.H.I.E.L.D., he keeps on jabbing at them and doing stuff. And his sister's like, well, hey, we got this mission in Texas, and yet somebody set him up to show up at this cabin because they pretend to be Clint Barton. And then, of course, the man that's hunting him ends up going after him. It's really, really interesting. And now it looks like Amadeus has to choose between, do I choose hate and anger and rage and going after, these people, or do I help my sister, who's in a bad way with this villain that I should be doing anyways, I'm interested to see how it goes, and I really like it. It's not how I expected. I'm digging it even more so, though, and it's a strong buy.
How is it as a Civil War II crossover or tie-in?
Oh, it makes perfect sense. I mean, it's great on its own, but it's, it works perfectly because it's all part of the whole thing.
Cool.
So yeah, strong buy contender. I give that one.
And then we have Miss Marvel number 11.
Yes, indeed.
Miss
Did you read this one?
Kamala Khan. I think I glanced through it. I don't remember reading it the whole way.
G. Willow Wilson is the writer, artist Takeshi Miyazawa and Adrian Alfona, color artist Ian Herring. And I love how these two swap off because the past stuff is Adrian Alfona and it's Bruno and he's talking to the mom and the mom's trying to get information out of him like, hey, what's going on with Kamala? I want to know. And gives her a little but not much of anything, and then it gets back to the regular stuff, the current timeline with Takeshi Miyazawa, and then you see this plan how she teamed up with like this bad person to prove that predictive justice is bad. But it's weird though because one of the cadets ends up attacking her and stuff, and they prove like, hey, this is false, but then the enemy goes, well, I kind of had to still make it real, so I did rig one of the vehicles with a bomb and ends up blowing it up. And it's like, well, nobody got hurt, but that was still kind of true, and Captain Marvel shows up because she called her and she's like, I wanted to prove to you that this is wrong, and she's like, you know, they just get into it, and then she calls Iron Man at the same time, so it's really rough because she's like, well, I can't trust you anymore, and I'm gonna have to handle this thing on my own. And then she goes back to Bruno, and Bruno's out of surgery, and he completely like hates her and wants nothing to do with it. It's just a heartbreaking issue.
It's one of those things that play on the heartstrings.
Yeah.
Where the mentor and the mentee kind of are at odds.
Yeah, definitely, and just everything is just going bad for her right now. So yeah, strong buy, contender. It's sad. I'm gonna save that digital quote just because it's just too good.
So we have Star Wars number 23, written by Jason Aaron and art by George Jorge Molina. Colors by Matt Milla. And it's picking up where we left off last time. And that's where the Harbinger crew is abandoned ship. And we have the rebels stealing the Harbinger. And yeah, it's pretty fun. They jettison the hyperdrive core and blow the ship into hyperdrive and whatnot. And we have this little tit for tat thing. Hey, let's race for the captain between Han and Leia. Yeah.
Oh, that admiral or something like that. They're trying to get. Oh yeah. No, there's that too. But yeah, and then there's There's an admiral that's supposed to help them and take command, and they find out about that too, which is bad.
And then there's like a battering ram going towards them, like with somebody like strapped to the front of it.
Yeah,
That's
it's
pretty
crazy.
weird.
And I was hoping to see this come into play.
And it was all a distraction. All a distraction.
Yeah.
Got these elite stormtroopers at the end of the book.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that looks hardcore. I'm excited.
Yeah, which they showed that before, and I was hoping they would eventually tie in, and here it is.
Yep.
So I got what I wanted. Not exactly the way that I was hoping or wanted to, but like I said, not a bad thing. So
strong buy for me. Not quite a contender, but definitely a strong buy.
Yeah, I'm more excited for the next issue.
Yeah.
It is a strong buy, though. So, yeah.
Then you have Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, I didn't know I even ordered this.
It's an annual.
Yeah, it's the annual number 1. Catherine Immonen is the writer, artist Leonardo Romero, color Jordi Belair. Well, that's just for the first story, which is about Doctor Strange and what's her name?
Clea.
Clea. They used to be married, and that's, they're trying to get the house fixed. I liked it. It was kind of like a slice of life type of thing. And it was about their relationship, and I really liked that. And it went into what was going on with her during this whole invasion, and purge of magic, as well as this fight, that turns into a fight too, because he's kind of like weak now, so she helps. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I liked that story. Then there's another story about some guy. It goes into like centuries ago, and then I think it's like Chinese or something, and then I don't even know. That one was Yao, the not quite ancient one, written by Robbie Thompson, artist Jonathan Marks, and Baravecchia with colors by Lee Lowridge. And it says that one's going to continue in Doctor Strange and the Sorcerer Supreme. That one was like, the art was pretty amazing, but it was kind of
jumbled.
Yeah, it was kind of a jumbled mess. So I don't know, that one I didn't really care for. I would say overall, this is not only was it not what I expected, it was not what I wanted. And
for an annual,
really, it was just a lead into
another series,
or half of it was a lead into another series, or maybe both. I'm not sure, but definitely the second one. So I didn't. Definitely considering the price, $4.99, I didn't really feel like it was worth it. I would say it's not bad, but I don't know. It's just not like Skim. I give it
Skim?
Skim. Yeah.
Now you have.
And you know what? I'm gonna give the digital code for that.
Give it away. Give it away now.
If you want to check it out and tell me what you think of it.
What Pablo's got, you got to give it to your mama.
Yeah. F for Frank, Z for Zarbon, M for Monk, B for Bravo, I for Icarus, 8, 5, U for Ultron, Y for Yank, G for George, 2, and H for Hotel.
Right. Now you have Nova. What number 11?
This is another one. I didn't know I ordered, but it's not a Civil War 2 tie-in so I think that's probably why. Number 11. Writer Sean Ryan, artist Corey Smith, color artist Andres Mosa. So, and he's inside the Nova Core thing, World Mind. They call it the World Mind, and I guess they explain it as it's the consciousness of all past Novas in this, and it's really interesting. So he ends up finding out, because that's something he hasn't found out. He's had the helmet this whole time. He doesn't know what it is, how he uses his powers, all that business. He ends up finding all those things out as it talks to him. But somehow he ends up to tap into Richard Rider, and then he ends up having a nice conversation with Richard Rider, which is really cool. He also finds out that his dad is alive and everything, and so that was really cool too. As well as he gets a little assurance, too, from Richard Rider. She's like, hey, Mom, I have to keep doing this as a Nova. Here's a little thing so you always know where I'm at, and know that I'm okay. He's also like, he ends up talking to, they're like, you don't have to keep your identity secret as a Nova. So he ends up telling his friends, and they're like, well, some of us knew. We're just glad that you're not lying to us. And they're like, oh, it's cool to be friends with a Nova. And there's a funny little moment there. I don't know if I want to keep reading this, though, because I don't know if it's legitimately going to get to the point, because I haven't been reading this for how many issues, and it's finally getting to something that, not necessarily something that I care about, but something that needed to be covered,
See, I don't like Sam Alexander. I prefer Richard Rider, but this, again, when I grew up in comics,
yeah.
Richard Rider was Nova. I mean, I like that character.
So, I like it. It's not bad. I'm going to give it... Like I said, been out for a while. It looks good, interesting. Just not sure if I'm going to get the next issue or not, and therefore I feel like I can't give a strong buy, but it is a buy.
Buy. Last but not least, we have Spider-Gwen number 12. Written by Jason Latour. Robbie Rodriguez is the artist. Rico Renzi is doing the art. The color art, excuse me.
And this is it. This is what's been building up to. Last one was all filler, all build, and this is what it's been building to, the fight between
Punisher
and Spider-Gwen. Now, one thing I was a little bugged about is that they didn't go into her spider powers on her thing. Yeah, her little gadget.
Watch it or whatever.
And I thought it was weird that Punisher has, like... A Stark Tech gauntlet, and so he's shooting blasters, but it has the Punisher symbol in the repulsor thing,
So it's got like a silhouette of it.
I wish it was black, or he would have done something with it, something, but it ended up being a lot more emotional than I thought it was, because I thought it was just going to be all-out fight, and it was mostly fight, and I like how it's a similar thing that was going on with U.S. Agent, which is... that Punisher's causing all this destruction, as well as like putting people's lives in jeopardy because he's shooting these blasts everywhere, and she's just dodging them.
Yeah, and
she's trying to keep it as minimal as possible, and he's making it worse.
Yeah,
he's becoming what he's going after essentially.
He's making things worse.
Yes, and so it's really interesting. It's crazy. He pulls out a gun.
Yeah, Captain
Dad
Stacy,
is there. Yeah, Captain Stacy. So he's at risk, and it just becomes this whole emotional thing.
Where Captain Stacy's almost about to fall to his death, and
it's good. This book is not at all what I expect ever, and I love that about it. Because I expect them to do, like, Spider-Man No More, and do, like, just essentially Spider-Man stories, but with Gwen. And they're not at all.
No, it's completely new and different.
It's completely different, like how everything plays out. Which, I mean, I know that Spidey did face off against Punisher, and that was a big thing back in the day.
Yeah.
But this is it's just so monumentally different that you're like, I can't get a hold of it, and I kind of love that.
And then we have the splash page at the end with the Kingpin in the hand.
It's so weird. It's so weird. It creeps me out, and it freaks me out. Strong buy? Contender?
Agreed. Strong buy contender for this book.
Here's a digital... Wait, did I give a digital code on the last one? I did not, because that was Nova. But this one, I'll give this one away. Yeah. E for Echo, 4, U for Ultron, 0, Y for Yank, R for Richter, D for Donatello, C for Charlie, 6, S for Saiyan.
Blah. So, guess what time it is? It's time for our B-Bow, our back and bag of the week. You want to go first this time, buddy?
Huh?
You want to go first or you want me to go first?
Oh, I don't know what to pick.
Which to pick? I've already got mine.
Do you?
Yeah. My runner-up is Steve Rogers, Captain America, and number 5. The reveal that Steve is behind Civil War II and how it ties into everything that's been going on made the comic worth a while for me. I mean, the flashback stuff during the comic itself, not really so good, but how Steve explains that, hey, I'm the one that's behind the banner killing. I'm the one that's behind the briefcase being empty and, the lady getting arrested. The one that kind of implicates Tony Stark into, to try and killing Ulysses. And how I'm making this image of Miles trying to kill me just appear everywhere. It's just brilliant. And so way out of left field. I did not expect it coming. So Steve Rogers, Captain America number 5 is my runner-up. My back and bag of the week is Batman Beyond Rebirth number 1, man. Enough said. I don't even have to say anything else. That book is the back and bag. It's brilliant. It's something you need to pick up.
Okay. Well, my runner-ups come down to Spider-Gwen in number 12. I have to say at first, like, Spider-Gwen was not, as strong, but talking about it, and I'm like, wow, it was a really emotional book, all that other stuff. But I'm going to have to give it to Lady Mechanica, La Dama de la Muerte, just because so rich with culture. I just, so many things was great with me, like, I just loved it. Just, there's some Mayan stuff in there. There's just so rich with culture, and I just love this character, and it's so interesting. And I love the way that that Hispanic people look at death. It's like, well, it's a natural thing of life. Like, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And more that, like, they it's not so much like they kind of celebrate death instead of, or like mourning. Like, they go into how mourning is you, but them, like, you should actually be happy for them because they're in a better place. No matter what you believe, I feel like, life is rough, man. Like, it's a release to be gone from one existence into another, whether you believe that you just go into the rest of the universe, or you think you're just a spirit wandering the world or the universe, or you become one with the universe, or if you believe in heaven or hell or any of that stuff. Like, no matter what, I feel like no matter what, you end up in a better place, sort of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Where you're not struggling. Yes.
And so, but this one, it's about, like, you, and they say, like, hey, we tell good, happy stories about our loved ones that are lost, and, great moments of, like, we want to have, like, these warm stories to bring them out, from where they're at, so they can spend time with us, and we, things that they loved, like the food that they loved, and stuff like that. It was so great. You know what? I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to give this one as my back and bag of the week, because just talking about it, I realized why I love it so much. But my actual runner-up is Miss Marvel, number 11, Civil War II. Just because it was rough, dude. Like, the past stuff, and just, like I said in the last issue, this is like there's heroics and stuff included, but this is real life stuff, which is these things really happen, when because of her decisions and as well as Bruno's decisions, he's now messed up for life.
Yeah.
And now he wants nothing to do with her, and that's the worst of it. Like, yeah, her mentor's like, oh, I don't really want to have anything to do with you anymore. So it's harsh, but like I said, Lady Mechanica is just, I love that. I love the culture. I love the idea behind it. And I just like be happy, instead of sad. And just like, it was so personal. It was so personal.
It reminds me of what my wife's been reading, the Steam Engines of Oz.
It is steampunk-like too, yeah.
So, I mean, that may be something that my wife may want to
Probably.
check out.
My wife's actually the one that got me into this.
So,
and I will be reviewing Volume 1 of, like, the original, like, when it actually originally came back, not this, but... And I think they're going to be putting out one of these each week, because it seems like it's a...
It's kind of thin.
Well, it's $3.99, but it seems like it's a, a Halloween-themed, October book. So we'll see. I don't know if they're going to be doing that every week. But
And speaking of Halloween, our Halloween Comic Fest is going to be coming up soon, so we'll be getting free Halloween comics soon.
So yeah, that's it. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for, like I said, when I review that Volume 1 eventually. Like I said, I've been sick, so I'm still playing catch up. I did put out my review for Stranger Things.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw my video for
I
that.
actually did not see your video. I wouldn't load this morning.
I feel like you probably won't get the video until after you watch Stranger Things, because
I haven't even started yet. So.
I do things in that like, unless you watch the whole show, you probably won't get what I'm doing.
See, we're going to be watching Luke Cage from this point. So.
Oh, yeah, you definitely got to get
Luke
on
Cage
that.
is next, and then next week we have The Flash and Arrow coming back. And then the following week we have Flash, Arrow,
Agents of
Supergirl.
S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm waiting, like, because I know that how Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is. I like watching things. I've noticed that there's shows
Agents
that I like
of S.H.I.E.L.D.
watching
during Christmas.
as
Catch up on that.
as clumps,
Yeah.
So I'm even though I want to,
My wife and I have caught the first 2 episodes of
like
Agents
Flash
of
and
S.H.I.E.L.D.
Arrow, I'll probably watch week by week.
Oh, yeah.
But just because I think it's a great show week by week. But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is one of those shows where I feel like you should watch it in
Maybe
clumps.
6
I like
episode
watching
blocks.
it in clumps. Yeah, something like that. And stuff. It all depends on it's different show by show.
Yeah.
Some stuff's really good at binging, which Stranger Things is definitely one of those shows.
Binge.
It's a binger for sure. You could do it you can do one a day so that you get that suspense a little bit, but I watch it all in one night. So, but anyways, yeah. So I am doing Overwatch is my next one, so I'm reviewing that.
Origins,
I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I think so.
Origins
Yeah.
Edition.
So I'm going to do Overwatch. That's my next one that I'm going to do as Talking Nerdy Vlogcast, which I'm going to be doing that video soon, like probably Sunday actually. Which I'll have to edit these, post these Sunday, and then I'll after I'm done with that, probably when I wake up, because I'll go to bed after that.
Yeah.
So Sunday night I'll be working on my Overwatch video, and then I'm going to be going over to Just Cause Cosplay to go work on some cosplay stuff.
That's right. You were talking
for
about
my
that.
videos. I worked out a little thing with them, so they're now one of once I start making stuff, then they're going to be
A sponsor.
a sponsor as well. Like I said, once again, not getting money, but just a nice little discount and stuff, which is great. Which I have to announce, this is going to be a surprise to you as well.
Okay.
We got passes to Santa Fe Comic-Con. We got 3 passes to Santa Fe
Nice.
Comic-Con. So we are down to go. So I'm also going to be working with Just Cause Cosplay Supply, because I want to do a Kylo Ren.
Uh-oh.
I want to do a Casey Jones, but I want to do the one from
From
the
movie?
cartoon, from the new cartoon.
Oh, from the new cartoon, okay.
And then I'm not sure on the third one.
Are you going to restyle your Vegeta wig yet?
Huh?
I know you were talking about restyling your Vegeta wig.
I want to work. Well, yeah, but that's later down the road. So I need to catch up on
On some Super?
on some Super first. I'm behind.
So if you have not caught up, please catch up.
Yeah,
New episode. I will post that in the community tomorrow because I'm a Super fan.
So yeah, that's another thing. Once we get caught up on that, I'm going to style the wig and make the armor.
Nice.
So that's probably what I'm going to do for, like, if I can have that done in time for Santa Fe Comic Con, then that'll be great. But I don't think I will have time, so I might just upgrade, which that actually would be an upgrade. No, because I'm missing the morph suit, so I won't be able to do that one. So I need a mask for my Nightwing, so I think I might work on that, as well as I want to get Eskrima sticks. And have them detachable on my back, but being able to twist them together into one bow staff. So I'm gonna get I want to get some Velcro pieces on the back and see if it holds and be able to yank those off at any time and then tie them together into a bow staff, so I can be like, I think it would be slick. And like I said, I need a mask,
a domino mask.
The thing is, there's so many masks online, and there's none that I'm satisfied with. Yeah. So I think I'm just gonna just build one myself, and just cosplay supply, perfect place to go to help me do that. So and obviously that makes Santa Fe Comic Con a sponsor as well, since they are allowing us to go as press. So if you want us to ask any questions, send them to us. We'll ask them.
Yeah, I'll post a listing of people that are going to be there that we might run across.
In fact, we'll post that in the group too, because there was one person that mentioned it.
Yeah.
So maybe she might want us to ask somebody, and we'll have to prep for that. Yeah, I've got to work on some more Star Wars trivia, but I'm going to start adding Force Awakens trivia. Dude, so if you haven't seen it, you need to see it.
Yeah. And I'm the Star Wars guru myself, because we will include Rebels until that point. Because I don't know if you've caught Rebels.
No, I haven't.
Caught it today.
Should I be watching it week by week, or should I be watching it clumps?
Currently, watch it week by week, man.
Okay.
This one's good. I mean, Sam Witwer is back, and Maul is beast.
Okay. Yes. All right. And that being said, keep your eyes on the boat.
Comics. Bye, everybody! Have a wonderful time!